It is overtime here again at Old Favorite Friday, discussing incredible classic beers. And I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but I came across a treasure trove of older classic beers that I can't find in South Florida for whatever reason. A good friend of mine from years ago, Chung, over at Coffee District in Delray, had a bunch of beers that I saw in his cooler. I said, how did you get this? Well, he's been hoarding them, and they might not even be distributed down here. And one of them is the Old Stock Ale from North Coast Brewing. This is a 2024 bottle, so it's not that old. But this is legitimately one of my favorite beers ever made for two reasons. One, the regular beer is fantastic. It's an old ale, kind of interchangeable with the Barleywine these days. It's a dark, rich, full-flavored, malty beer that comes in around 11% alcohol. And they also do a barrel-aged version of this, which I legitimately think is one of the best beers in the world. It is fantastic. I haven't had it in years. I actually went on their website and didn't even see it on their website, so I'm kind of afraid they might not even do it anymore, but hopefully if someone can chime in and tell me if I'm off base on that or not. But the Old Stock Ale from North Coast, I love North Coast in general. They don't make a bad beer, but this is a beer that to me is the perfect example of what an English style barley wine old ale should be. Malt forward, toffee, caramel, a little bit of chocolate malt flavor in there. It's rich and chewy without being sweet and cloying. There's the right amount of hop backbone, but it doesn't kind of tip into that American barley wine where it's kind of unapproachable when it's younger. It's perfect out the gate, and it also happens to be a beer that ages extremely well. You can put this down 5, 6, 7 years, and it just continues to mature and change. This is a great beer to get verticals of, so if you have like availability to this beer, get a couple 4-packs and put one of the 4-packs down, and then get 3, 4, 5 years together, chill them all down at the same time and try them, and really see how these beers mature and change over time. Not all beers do this. You don't want to do this with like hazy IPAs, but with a beer like this at 11% alcohol, a barley wine, it's just fantastic to see the difference that some age can make. It gives them this like sherry-like notes to it that are just fantastic. I adore big malt forward beers that get to a point where they're not cloying and chewy, and it gets to the point where it's just you just get beaten over the head with the same flavor over and over again. The nuance here is fantastic. Food-wise for pairings here, there's a lot of things you can do with a beer like this. You have to make sure that the dish you pair it with has some body and some richness as well. One of the things that would go well here would be like a duck confit, because you have that fattiness of like the dark meat of the duck, the crispiness of the skin. There's a lot of oils there that would go really, really well with this. The other thing you can do is do something like a pork or even a chicken. I would recommend both pork or beef with like a port wine reduction. Something that acts like some dark fruit flavors that complements kind of the fig and raisin aspects of this beer. So either one of those things are big, they're full body, they do really well together. And as you can see, I just want to drink this. I don't even know why I'm doing this video. I just want to drink this over and over again. It's more of an excuse really to do this. I only got one bottle. I'm pretty sad about that. If I get a chance to see this beer again, I'm definitely gonna hoard some. I suggest that you do the same. If you can't get your hands on this beer and you see anything from North Coast, it's different, but even something like Scrimshaw, their Pilsner, it's just perfect. They know what they're doing with beer. If you're a beer purist, if you love great beer styles, you can't go wrong with getting anything from them. So thank you guys very much for stopping in with us, talking about these incredible classic beers. Please give us a like and subscribe. We really, really appreciate it if you love craft beer as much as we do, and then we'll see you next week. Cheers.